And then there's this one. And hello beekeeper Kev. You've known about this for a while and been wondering what it's all about. Well, I'm going to try and explain it best I can. This is a trailer and crane I bought as a spare just in case the other one broke down. I thought I'd just drop into using this one. It's a rhino crane, this. The electrical supply from the vehicle is through the another Anderson connector. Silicon in there just to hold the wires in place, stop muck and the wet getting in. The rhino crane, there's a motor under here, the winch. So there. Simple winch on the framework. That's powered, not direct from the vehicle, but from a battery in the box there. The power runs from that Anderson connector there, keeps this battery charged up. So there's a manual switch there. Operates the crane and a couple of remotes with it. In, out. So it's just a manual slope, pull it round by hand. And the remote takes it up and down. I haven't used this crane this time. There's a couple of issues with it. There's an intermittent fault with the crane which I need to sort out, and a problem with the brakes. One of the brakes is binding on the trailer. I am considering possibly trading it in and getting a new trailer for another crane. More of that later. On my pickup I have two cables run from the battery to this Anderson connector at the back. This is the power source for the cranes on my trailers. That connector's just there to keep the live side dry and clean. Silicon in the end of it just to keep the water out. The Palfinger crane on my other trailer has an Anderson connector that plugs into the one on the pickup and powers the crane. Crane Palfinger PC801. It's held on the trailer by a couple of bits of checkerboard sandwiching the drawbar, chassis part of the drawbar. So there's the one on top there, and then those bolts go through. Jockey wheels in the way there, and another piece of checker plate here. So put a notch in the bottom piece of checker plate to allow the jockey wheel to open down through there. Open the crane up, winch pin in there, take out, pull the pin out there. Now tight, rest of my shoulder. To allow the crane to swing, just press that down. That, as you swing it round, it's on a bevel there, and that just releases it, allows the crane to swing it out over the trailer. It's just easier to extend it if it's over the trailer. I'm not having to reach up so far. Then release that back. That should lock it in place. There that. Still hasn't been put back together properly since I had the electrical fault breakdown that day. So 3 pins there. What are those? Those 3 holes behind there. And the controls up, down, and emergency stop, the red one. So we now need to let some slack out before we can extend the crane. Not the fastest thing in the world, but it's a real godsend when it comes to lifting hives on the trailer or the pickup. Sorry, I couldn't have picked a more windy day really to film this. Anyway, another pin out, and then just extend that up as far as it'll go, the pin back in to secure it. Lynch pin back in the other side so it doesn't slip out. Good to go. When I want to use the crane to load the pickup, I take the side gate down and the tailgate. And then take that corner post out. I can then swing Hive straight onto that corner. There's a simple bit of kit here I've never shown before. A single wheeled Hive barrow. It's based on an ordinary sack barrow. Got it from Machine Mart, I think about 40 years ago. A mate of mine who was good at welding extended the toe plate. So originally the toe plate only came to there. You can see the joint. He extended that bit on, put these strengtheners on. He also made up these brackets and bits of tubing in which the axles of the wheelbarrow wheels sit. Just a quick demo of how I use it with this empty Hive. Yeah, it still involves some lifting, but that one lift is far easier than a long carry. There is a technique to just flicking it back and then balancing it and setting off. The shallower the angle, the more horizontal the Hive is, the easier it is to move. Then just ease it back down onto the ground. Once it's in reach of the crane, let that take over and do its job. When I put ratchet straps on my Hives, I like to keep them over to one side and not in the middle. The reason for that is when you come to put the hook on, the crane hook underneath, you can get that hook in the middle. So hopefully the Hive will lift more plumb. With the crane set like that, the natural position as you swing the Hive on is here. So I'll sometimes put a Hive at the front, leave that gap there, that's me loading gap, second one back. Here's that other Powfinger crane, this is the one that was mounted on my Transit. In many ways, this has been the best bee truck I've ever had. The only issue with it being that it wasn't four-wheel drive. Powfinger PC801, same model. This is the one I bought unseen from Perth, 700 quid in 2004. It's never missed a beat, this one, it's been brilliant. That's the base of it. That was mounted permanently on the Transit. And then I just used to lift this on and off with a forklift. Slotted in, that slots in to here. This is covered up just to keep the muck out. I'm hanging onto it as a reserve, but what I need to do is standardise the controls and the electrical connections for it. This one, if I can find them, this one used to just clip directly on the battery of the Transit. There's a hole in the back of the cab, and that red cable there, that one, well, a bit of red tape on it, that one went through and connected onto the positive terminal of the battery. This other one, the earth, just used to connect that onto the framework at the back of the Transit, just a grounding and earth. I really need to put an Anderson connector on here, and then it could be dropped back onto the trailer and used if need be, if ever there's a problem with the other crane. That's what I need to do. That's what I've been meaning to do for a while, but yeah. Powfinger crane's alright up to a point. It can lift using the winch, and it can swing in an arc and pick hives or boxes up within that arc and put them back down. I can pull on the load towards me or away from me, and that helps a bit. But for a crane to be really useful, not only do we need the lifting and the swinging in an arc, we need to bring in the other joint, equivalent to our shoulder. Then we can pick boxes of hives up from anywhere and drop them down anywhere. Once we can do that, a crane becomes really useful. Hence this. That just leaves me with this one to explain. Yeah, it's unbelievable really. I bought this 4.5 years ago, nearly. March 2020, just as we were going into lockdown. bee farmers did a deal with, I don't know if that's ICO or ICO. Don't know if that's ICO or ICO, easy loader. And I think we had a chance to buy one of these, and some of us did. I think there was 4 or 5 came into the country, and I was one of them that took up the offer. And sad to say, it's sat here ever since. Crazy, absolutely crazy. This thing could completely transform my job, I think. Make it so much easier. So why haven't I used it? The simple fact is, I've been hanging on trying to find the right vehicle to put it on. My Toyota Hilux is too small. It's too small a vehicle. I've been looking for something transit size because my old Transit was, I think, the best bee truck I've ever had. But that had a problem. It wasn't 4-wheel drive, and certainly a summer like we've had. An issue being without 4-wheel drive, I think we would have been scuppered this year. So every winter, going into every winter, I say, right, I'm going to sort this out. I'm going to get it fitted on something. And I keep looking for a right vehicle, and I've never yet found it. So I think now I've got to accept that the 4-wheel drive Transits are hard to come by. 4-wheel drive Mercedes Sprinters are equally hard to come by. That was the sort of thing I was hanging on for. I think I've got to accept defeat on that one and get it mounted on a trailer. To warrant that, I think I have to buy a new trailer. I don't see the point in putting this on an old trailer. The main trailer I use, the 5'6" one. To mount it on this trailer, well, this trailer isn't wide enough, really. It needs to be a 6-foot trailer. 6'6" wide, this is 5'6". I'm also looking to put it on a trailer with better suspension, give the bees an easier ride. I'm thinking of going down the Nugent line. Nugent trailers are supposed to have a better suspension system, supposedly. And get this thing fixed and working while I'm still here to use it. It is madness, it's absolute madness. I can't defend it any other way. There's cobwebs on it and dust and muck. Yeah, 4.5 years been here, since March 2020. Well done to beekeeper Kev, who spotted this in one of the earliest videos. I did just allude to it, said that this was another story, and he twigged. And then when I mentioned 2 or 3 videos ago, when I showed the Powfinger cranes, he said in the comments, the plot thickens, what's going on? And I said I would explain. And this is the explanation, basically. There's nothing sinister about it, nothing dark. It's just simply indecision, not being able to find the right vehicle for it. So, I mean, to have a bit of kit like this sat in a shed for 4.5 years, not used, it's absolute madness. I mean, the warranty will have gone on it. Some of it may need freeing up. I don't know. But that should be my priority this winter, to get that fitted and then to be able to use it next year. Will it happen? I don't know. It needs to happen. It needs to happen. Yeah. We'll see how we get on, eh? Definition of madness. That's what this is. Definition of madness.